goal. One that stems from a kind of concentration on what I was doing. What was important to me is the actual process, the functioning, the going ahead with it. There was just so much to discover in New York and in America, so many to absorb, and there was no way I would just stay in my studio and make a sculpture and make it an impressive sculpture and impress everybody. So I thought maybe, no, simply through the act of leaving my studio daily, put on my shoes, looking at all the shop windows, Bloomingdale's, Macy's, you have an ACC, dreaming, sifting through thrift shops. I've covered all the Salvation Army thrift shops, Goodwill, Housing Works, bookstores, checking the garbage bin at the Home Depot twice weekly, watching and talking to people, touching the subway art, the public art, the sculptures, and the murals, documenting as much music under New York. I've got a box full of music here. This is my music box. And I've got all the recordings here for the last 4 months. You can watch it later. I know what I wanted to do daily, but couldn't figure out how to make something out of this excitement. If and when Jennifer asks me, when will you be having an open studio? That came from Cecily. I said, oh my. I said, I guess there must be a way to get from point A to point B. There is a process of discovery in practice, I believe. And a lot of it involves paying attention to what I was doing, rather than aiming so fixedly toward some sort of goal that I failed to pay attention to what's going on as I was trying to get there. It's in the process of working and by watching myself work that this creative, hopefully this creative production occurred. It's from giving oneself over to the doing that I make an intimate fun of discovery that will inform my efforts. It is in the act of doing that has opened me up to the unanticipated directions that may lead to something new, hopefully, something useful, and something that I love doing. I believe the process related to this work depended on learning to trust or go with the less prepared, the less familiar, the less acceptable way of doing something, and relying on a different aspect of my own ability. This is the intersecting narratives. They intersect, they're my stories. It's my reinterpretation of the map that was first given to me by Miss Marlene and Jennifer during my first day in New York. The work is my first attempt to fuse what I like doing best, photography and sculpture as an installation piece. It is one which explores play, it's an old one, as an educative principle, as an art teacher for young people. It is kinetic, it involves time and motion, in a third world way, in a poor way. It's a collection of many images and forms which I really wanted to do here. Take thousands of images of New York and America, all of which, when summed up, is my personal narrative of the ACC experience. Thank you, ACC. Thank you, Cecily. Thank you, Miss Marlene, Jennifer, Ling. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Margarita. Thank you, Karin. Thank you so much, guests, for making it all possible. Thank you, and have a good evening.